Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. My name is Gemma Haley. I am a criminologist. I am an advanced cultist, and I am a mother. And in all this time, I've done this about 4 times now. I am not even joking. I have attempted to do this video about 4 times, and it's not working. So this one was going to be about goddess energy. It was meant to be about how the goddesses can interlink, like as a one concept. And I can't do it. I wonder why. Right, so I've had to do this about 4 times. And now I'm off. I'm off now. I'm off it. I don't even know what to say. Right, okay. So we're talking about Lilith. We're talking about Lilith, we're talking about Persephone, we're talking about Ishtar, and talk about it all out, all interlinks together, just for understanding my own experiences, okay? Just for understanding my life, right? And I'll just go into brief, but I think it all interlinks, basically. Let's just put it out there. I think Persephone is a link with Ashea. I think that's a Muslim. And I think Ashea is Asherah. I do. And I think that there's a link there with Lilith. You know, they are archetypal energies. Just put it all together, like, just think like it's like your storyline. You know, not everyone's a Lilith. Right, calm down, guys. Calm down, girls. Not everyone's a Lilith. But I am. So this is how I kind of want to break this down, so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. With understanding Lilith, you know, she's a very big playing factor in this domain. Understanding, you know, the first wife of Adam. So I just wanted to get down to this. So you have unjustifiable acts that take place with the goddesses, you know. None of them are really ever pleasant, are they? Which is interesting. Isn't that right? You know? There might be one or two, but what? They all end bad or just cut off and you don't ever hear about it. It's like, what happened? Moral of the story, don't be a female. Moral of the story, if you're a female, you're doomed, which is absolute crap. So I'm not manifesting it for you or anything, I'm just being realistic here. Like, where is all the good ones? Where's all the good goddesses? You know, because they all seem to get smeared for, you know, bringing out their knowledge. They all get smeared for, like, having information you're not allowed to tell anyone. We'll steal that and then we'll just tell everyone it's ours instead. You know, and stuff like this. And it's like, oh, you want to harvest my energy, you can embody it all day, all day long, love you, because you think you want my role, you think you want this. What is it? Heavy the head is the one who bears the crown. Is that something like that? It's because I've got so many responsibilities, and it's like you just might look at it and go, oh, I want that. I want that silly little crown, that concept thing. And just like, oh yeah, let's steal everything. It's like, yeah, you can steal it if you want, love. You can have my burdens all day long. Don't steal my shit. Okay. So, on that note, I think this can sort of like be in a metaphor for anybody, really, any woman. I mean, you know, you might see me and think, oh, she's pretty. Oh, she thinks she's got everything. Oh, she has this. Oh, she has that. Well, you have no idea. You know, and you're saying, oh, yeah, she's the ego. And it's just like, take a look in the mirror. Are you missing something in your life? Have you misplaced your confidence? Where is it? Did you leave it in bed in the morning when you woke up and you walk around hating on other people because you haven't got it? You know? Those are the people who are trying to bring out knowledge and awareness and understanding to help you rise. The cheek of it. There's a cheek. A left and a right one. And you slapped them both. You slapped your own. Because I don't care. Right, so anyway. I've had enough of that. So, listen to this. Goddess energy. Goddess energy is what? this is like a woman. It's female archetypal energy, straight up. So we have to understand this like it's a version playing out. So I can understand like the Persephone, like I said, Persephone. So a Persephone energy is like, you know, she was really young. She picked flowers, and she went down with AIDS, and Hecate supposedly helped her. I'm not Hecate, by the way. I'm not her. And if I am, I took it because it's mine in the end. Well, I am actually a Persephone. Okay? So, I don't know if anybody knew that. And they reckoned Hecate helped Persephone. Is she? Where? That's right. Thought so. Okay? Interesting turn of events, right? Because they don't. Because they want what's yours. And if you're a Holy Grail concept, well, you know, don't tell anyone who you are. Okay? Don't tell anyone. Keep it to yourself. Okay? But if they know who you are, then you best come out and just be like, yeah, I'm me. This is me. I'm 369. Because you have keys, okay, to the universe. So all you 369 out there, you need to start talking. You've got keys to the universe. Okay? Some special, hold a key. Or knowledge. Or something that can make this world a better place. Okay? So remember this. Okay? You might be like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And then when you figure it out, you'll realise. And then you go. Okay? This is how it is. So let's get back to understanding Persephone. She was taken by Hades. So I think it has something to do with maybe a memory or, you know, something like that. And an aspect of her was taken. This is the only way I can explain this now. Like an aspect of her was taken. And it was taken so that she could live her life, that she could actually be an aspect of, she could be herself, essentially. She could be herself. So this might be because, you know, it was unjustifiable and she wasn't going to get any help. Or it could have been because, you know, because in a way, Persephone loved him for doing that. Because he helped her, in a way. But then in another breath, you know, she's kind of like, why'd you nick me? I've got to spend all my childhood in Underworld now. So now this is where I belong, is it? In hell. So I can understand that concept because something bad's happened. So it was almost like that state, that memory or something that bad happened to them that hellalized them anyway. So it was like she was trying to, you know, be helped type thing. Okay? So she was trying to be saved in a concept of being saved. Okay? So you can kind of understand this where a Lilith can kind of come into this as she gets older. She might become a Lilith because she's Queen of Hell. Well, who else is the Queen of Hell? Well, Persephone is Queen of Hell as well, isn't she? You know, it's a Persephone concept. So I can understand Persephone because I am Persephone. And I can understand how Hecate tricked Persephone as well because she was jealous of her position in the Queen of as Queen of Hell. She was a bit jealous of her. I gotta admit, like Hecate was a bit jealous of Persephone, mate, because Hades preferred Persephone. So you got to understand this concept now. Like Persephone has like a blonde hair. She likes picking flowers, and then you get Hecate. Well, she's just. I think she's got brown hair, hasn't she? Brown curly hair. And she don't like Persephone because Persephone found peace with Hades. I think Persephone could give Hades something that Hecate couldn't. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to say it. So, like, as a Hecate, as a mother in archetypal energy, I can understand that. And you can sort of understand how Hecate might, bleed into Mother Maiden and Crone concept. But the maiden is a younger version of, and then the older version, and then the mother energy. But I don't really feel Hecate as that. I noticed that when I invoked Hecate, I thought she was going to be like this powerful deity that was going to like help me, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. Because I remembered something that happened to me when I was little. And it's almost like Hecate coming to me. And it said in there that she helped Persephone. And it kind of like, that was where it kind of marked my sort of understanding where I might have needed a mother in archetypal energy, which I didn't have around me because it was COVID. And this is kind of like where I was like lured. It was like she was, I don't know, it was almost like it didn't feel right to me. You can leave now. And she just really, it was almost like I found peace, and it was almost like she didn't, with a like Hierophant type of energy, but it was hate, so, and she didn't like it. She didn't like it. She was jealous. And now she just like goes on and ruining my life. I'm using analogies. But now she like just goes around like ruining my life, like every potential Hierophant that's there in my life, like she just tries to take it away. And it's like, why? Are you jealous or something? But I know what Hecate would stand for to me. And, I'll take that energy on as my own. Like, you might meet somebody who might, like, represent a Hecate to you. But it might not necessarily be the same story for Persephone. Because I didn't have the same kind of experience. So, obviously, nothing's all the same all the time. But I didn't have the same kind of experience, It was almost like I was already a mother. I already had it all intact. And it kind of bled into understanding that Hecate didn't like that. She wanted to, she wanted that control in an archetypal understanding. So I could bring it to you like this, because it's easier then to explain. Goddess energy, and how jealousy can like merge because they don't like certain things, right? So this is how I could sort of like understand this. And so yeah, let's get into Lilith. Lilith, she was mad because Adam, well, I don't think that story is true. He might have been abusive towards her. So you can understand this analogy, So let's go back to Hecate, because I don't want to slate her too much. Because, when I call for Hecate, maybe I should have called for myself type thing. Because I already had that intact. Okay? So, I already had it all within me. So, I don't know what kind of that meant. But I'm just using it as an analogy. Not every Hecate that will come to you is, what is bad. And not every, because she kind of tried to steal all my stuff, which is weird. It was like everything I was trying to do was good. It was almost like she was trying to steal that. Like, I'm better than you, in this way, you're not good type thing. And it was almost like she was trying to dismantle me, to push me down, when I'd already been down. So it was like kind of like I asked for a mothering energy, and that's not what I was responded with, okay? And it's not because I'd done anything wrong, okay? Because let's go to Lilith now. Lilith is a really strong goddess. I am a representation of her, and I am. So, like, because I have Lilith in the first house, so I can understand a Lilith, which really, is a landmark in understanding this world as well. Let's get on to the Lilith. So she didn't want to lay under Adam, which is, I don't think that's true. I think it may have done something to do with domestic abuse, domestic violence. So I think I'm going to understand Lilith from that perspective. This is why, you know, I've said something about Lilith in the past, and, you know, I don't think that story is true about Lilith. I think maybe there might have been domestic violence there. And I think she got picked on. She got told to get out of the Garden of Eden. And I think that's kind of like why. I think it all merges into itself. If you're following me, if you're not, then, you know, you can sort of take it from your own, like take it from mine and see how it works with you. Because everyone has different experiences. And, you know, like I said before, they're not all the same spirit. So you can have an experience with a Hecate that's completely different. You might look at your own mum as a Hecate, okay? You might understand it like that. Like your own mother is like an aspect of that because she's a mother in energy. So it depends what kind of experience you have. I've got Chiron in the 9th house, so, you know, I have a spiritual wound, okay? So let's get into Lilith. So she's quite daring. She's quite she doesn't need anyone. She doesn't need anyone. Now, that's kind of like how you do need people though, obviously, but like it's almost like she is like that. She's like, oh, if you don't want to help me, if you don't want to, like, if you don't want to treat me right, if you don't want to treat me fair, if you want to, you know, smack me or hurt me or kick me or punch me or, you know, violently assault me or emotionally, physically, violently, you know, anything, psychologically, if you want to do these things to me, then I don't need you. You know what I mean? So it's almost like Lilith is like that. And then she got kicked out of a Garden of Eden, had to go to Edom. When I think that's just a different tribe, isn't it? I think Eden and Edom, I think they were different tribes anyway in Israel. I think 12 tribes and that, you know, all that stuff that you know, was going on about the disciples and the tribes. I think they interlink as well, so I might be the leaders, the 12 disciples and the 12 tribes. I think there's a connection, yeah, with the Christian and the Muslim. And I think Judea talks about it as well. That's where the connection is. So I think this is kind of like where we can understand and depict where the land, she had to move to a different land because she wasn't accepting her land anymore because they unjustified her. And I think this is a Lilith concept as well. And I think, you know, they stole her children as well. So I think that's obviously an interlink with that because you can understand how it was all unjustified. And Lilith ended up with demons. Or it's more of an aspect of judgment with the other people who are being judged. She sits with the others who are being judged because they've pushed her into that sphere of judgment on the Kabbalah. So they Hellenize because originally you were somebody had looked after you. So we got to think. Let's go back to Persephone. So Hades came and helped Persephone, but because it's unseen, because he took the memory, it's hard to distinguish what's going on. Okay, so there's obviously pros and cons to this, and you know, I don't know if that's like just a joke or that's like actually a real thing. You know, can you actually delete something? Can you delete? Delete. I bet like people sitting there thinking, what's she talking about? She talks about some right random stuff. Well, I do. Is this feminism? You know, and an act of trying to stick up for yourself? Is this an act of feminism? To dislodge me, is that an act of feminism? Are you trying to... I'm coming to you right now, like, if someone was telling me I'm feminist. Is that like, is there an issue with me defending myself? Does it trigger you somewhere? Does it like pick it or tug at your heartstrings somewhere? Does it make you hurt? Does it make you hurt? Oh well, maybe you shouldn't have done it to me then. Maybe you need to learn a little bit more. You need to rise on that tree a little bit more, mate. And sit there going, me, and you need to talk. Yeah, let's just rise. Let's keep rising. Go to your Hierophant energies, mate. You know, because it's different anyway for different, you know, cultures and stuff. How we can sort of integrate aspects of like understanding through these archetypal energies and like our life experience and how we can bridge that gap, understanding that there are these playing factors that are playing out. And I don't know if they should delete them because it just keeps happening. Or is that just a way of life and they're like preparing us? Oh, this might happen to you, and what about this? This sounds like a story like you can sort of like, come from. So yeah, I've spoke about Persephone, Hecate, who's supposed to be helping her, and she lies to her. False sense of security, stuff like that. So I've got Chiron wound, okay? So I come to you from a different space. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, oh yeah, this is a good thing, because it's almost like they have to do it on purpose. It's almost like it's almost like a course, and it's like on purpose, and it's like a live course, and it's like they put you in these spaces and like, right, you could have helped me before it happened, you could have got me out of the situation before, and stuff like this, and you think, what is this trying to show me? Why am I having this re-trigger of a memory? And this can happen to men as well. So like, I'm not talking just feminism, I'm talking about like experience that can happen to us in life. And this is what can actually create aspects of like destruction as well, and then dismantling, because it might be because people actually do experience these things, and it's told through our scriptures, our history, our mythology, to sort of bring an understanding of, why these stuff happen. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, how do they know? How do they know? Like, how do they just leave it there, and then like just this is a cultural definition of like a feminine. This is the cultural definition and understanding of a woman. This is how we target them. And it still happens today in contemporary society. It's like, is this, because you get like Zeus, he's power god, and you get like, who else do you get? You get Hades, he's god of underworld, he's the man down there, he rules everything he does. So it just don't make no sense. Like, who are these playing actors? Why are they here? Did they steal Persephone just because they wanted the stuff? Like, unfortunately, that sounds about right. Did they steal Persephone because they just wanted what she had, which was the love and the beauty that she could give to the whole world? So they tried to steal it, and then she ended up being a Lilith, demonized, as she got older. And I think Persephone can also relate to a Muslim goddess, Asherah, and her name's Ashea when she's a little kid. And it's a similar story, but she got married. And it was kind of like she ended up going into the underworld because she was probably too young to marry, which is absolutely vile and disgusting. Shouldn't happen. There's aspects of forced marriage and, child abuse, because she's like 7 or something. That's weird, right? Weird, right? I was thinking he's an old man in that, but if that's Allah, mate, what you want about? Because Allah is the all. So everybody was doing it, was they? Well, I don't like the idea of that. I think that's a bit strange. And that's probably why Ashea went down in aspect of wonder, because she was traumatised by that experience. When you think a 7-year-old little girl is not going to be traumatised by an experience so that can happen to her by an elder man, I think that's quite disgusting and disturbing. And I think that I can honestly say that this is one of the most disgustingest acts you can ever do. Okay, commit on children. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And it's kind of like, this is the story of Persephone. She was took down. He liked her and he just took her. Like, no, you can't do that. And it's weird, but you can see it in a good way or a bad way. She might have had a traumatizing experience. I know, prayed to God, a God Allah concept. Please help me, and then he took the memory. Honestly. And then you might get things though like where there's a deeper meaning behind it. Someone's going trying to save somebody else's skin, and then it's almost like that then people become a sacrifice just for this person to be saved through these concepts of like destruction, being that hates. So it's almost like there's a cleanup guy and he goes around cleaning them up. It's like, you can only do so much, you can only clean up so much energy, and before you recognise that, like, if you're creating spaces like that, you need to stop. You need to really, you're not a king. You're not a king. You're going to get done in. You're not a king. This is why Lilith turned into a renegade. This is why Lilith is a renegade. She is like, I'm not having any of this. I'll sit with everyone in judgment because we all know what's going on around here. This is a Satanism perspective because it's an aspect of Lilith being judged. She's been pushed into that firing line where she's like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm going to help. I need to do something. And it's almost like when you push somebody that far into those places, how else are you going to, what do you want? What do you expect them to do? What do you expect them to do? Well, they're obviously going to either fight back or leave. And, you know, you'll think, you'll go around doing stuff spiritually, thinking you're the man, you're the king, right? There's going to be consequences if you're going around hurting little kids and stuff. Like a Persephone concept, like what's the name concept. And it's not just me, is it? I'm not just a Lilith. There's loads of Liliths out there. Loads of us. Right? So yeah, it's another little sequel there for Renegade Masters out there. Lilith, Persephone, and a Hecate. So I have a wound there. My 9th house, spiritual matters. So, but I can see where the wounds are as well. I can see it within society, the religions, by observing it and looking at it, okay? Because it's a chironic, it's a retrograde as well, so I can see it. It's really easy. It's starting to get more obvious, you know? And like, so we can understand a Hades, he might help, but, you know, I think Lilith I think Lilith just had a primary goal and she just didn't want her children to be done with under aspects of demonizing the children. So what's this? So we can bring this into contemporary society now and say, how did Lilith demonize? No, how was Lilith demonized? And then how was her children demonized? Because she said she kept having babies, didn't she? And there was demons. But why were there demons? Why? Like, were they like not being treated fairly and pushed into aspects of judgment on the sphere? And ultimately that led to a fall because on the tree because the children weren't listened to under aspects of support. Okay, this is how the tree's broken in a Kabbalic process, and it just is, right? I know. So this is it. I've done it. I just wanted to talk about, oh yeah, Ishtar. So when Persephone went down, it's almost like that was an aspect of Ishtar. So it's almost like Persephone's child, it was her trauma, and then it was like Ishtar went down and she didn't want to be here anymore. She wanted to go down. So it's kind of like a Persephone, little girl, and then an Ishtar, she's older and she's going down. Then you have to remove all her chakras or her jewellery. So it's a form of a chakra point. And this is what they try and do. They remove your heart space, if you know, and it's an aspect of love, right? So it's almost like they don't, it's an understanding aspects of falling down in the underworld. So that's why I say don't go down, okay? Just don't do it. It's not worth it, right? You don't need to go down. If you go down, just realise, find out where Chiron is. Seriously, don't go down. So this is kind of like how they can trick you into losing your identity. This is like the rainbow body concept. I think that's what I did the one couple of weeks ago. It's called the rainbow body. So this interlinks with an Ishtar. Okay, this is what, you know, I've obviously had this information because it's an experience that I've been through. Okay, this is how I know, because I've actually physically experienced this. A lot of people just stealing ideas, but this is something I've actually experienced in my life. So this can be underpinned as an Ishtar going down concept. So it's like taking off something of hers. But she went all the way down because she wanted to. Well, it didn't sound like she wanted to. She just wanted to help somebody. She wanted to save somebody. And then as she went down, they were tricking her all the way. She went all the way down. They were tricking her in aspects of love and corruption. And it was almost like they were trying they were just trying to demonize her. So it's kind of like a Lilith as well. It's like an offshoot in between a Lilith and a Persephone, Ishtar. And it's kind of like, it's an archetypal energy, but I can understand it. Okay, it goes on to the rainbow body, the one that I did before. And this is like a suicide. It's like a suicide mission. So this is like a suicide mission concept where she wants to go down because she's had enough, she's going to find all the answers and she's going to tell everyone. She's going to make sure that they change their ways and everyone's had enough because everyone's had enough. You know, she wants justice, but not just for her. She wants it for her children. She wants it for her children's children. She wants it for the whole entire world. Now, this is a Gabriella, and this is the lighter side of the Lilith because it's a Gabriella. And what it is that Gabriella is like the messenger. She holds a ring, halo. She has an Asherah pole. I'm not joking. She holds an Asherah pole. She holds a little wreath. She's got wings on her back, and she's wearing a cloak. This is an aspect of understanding. With her wings, it's an aspect of understanding that she's risen again. Okay? And that she has a message. Okay, she holds a scroll sometimes, you might see that. But she has a message, she's bringing a message, and this is what the Christian Bible speaks about. That Gabriella has a message. She's the messenger. Baby Jesus was coming or something like that, wasn't it? And it was also in the Jewish book that a baby was coming for an older woman. I can't remember her name. Elizabeth? Right. So this is kind of like how it all interlinks because they depict that Gabriella is a messenger. So to understand this, I don't know about the Muslim one, but I can understand the black stone, which I didn't talk about in the last video, is the spin, and it's almost like they're creating a vortex to rise the Binah, which is the, it's just a rise. It's a rising energy of a truth. But I don't really know what's going on there. I think they might be voiding it out. I don't know. It depends on their intentions on it. I think only men can go around that as well. So yeah, I just wanted to depict that Royal Archangel Gabriella, she has a message. She is a messenger, right, to bring healing to this world. She is the messenger to bring that healing. She's one to tell everybody what's going on around here. She's the one that's going to do it. And it's because she is like an experiencer of the goddess energies, the archetypal energies. And it's almost like, because I have Chiron in the ninth house, so that I have a wound there. So I do have a wound in those areas. I always found it a little bit harder to, get by there. It weren't so easy for me to get A's and GCSE. It weren't that easy for me. It was because I lacked confidence and I'd been traumatized. Okay, so these kind of the things are where you go down anyway. So it's almost like I learnt my lessons when I was younger. So it's like, why is it happening again type thing? And then it's like more messages come up, like more meanings. And it's really about finding faith again. But it's also about, it's not just about finding faith. It's about a society coming together with the same sort of underpinnings of maybe issues or experiences, and bringing it together to bring a message of healing, of how to heal, okay? Because I think that's what Gabriella does, because this is what I'm doing, and I don't know how else I'm supposed to go about this, or try and depict it. And I think this is an archetypal energy. My moon is 2.5 Fomalhaut moon, so it's an emotion. It's right there in the middle of the tree, okay? It's there. It stays there. That's it. That's the moon. And this is kind of like it's the anchor for the whole tree. And this is what's really important about it. And it's my tree, and it's my love, and it's my feels. It's mine. So this is my tree. And it's almost like I've had to do this, understanding traumatizing experiences throughout my life. And it's like I've been able to bring this then to you, to help you in some way, figure your own stuff out. And I can't help everybody, and I wish I could, but this is how I'm going to try and help everybody, okay? So that's it, the goddesses and stuff like this. I'm out. Peace.